Let's see some previous year grade questions from stability of slope analysis. The first one is a deep cut of 7 meter has to be made in a clay with unit weight of 16 kilonewton per meter cube and a cohesion of 25 kPa. So what is given? Depth of cut is given, that is 7 meter. Unit weight of clay is given, that is 16 kilonewton per meter cube, and cohesion is given as 25 kilonewton per meter square. What will be the factor of safety? One has to have a slope angle of 30 degrees. So we need to find out the factor of safety where the slope angle is 30 degrees. The stability number is given to be 0.178 for a depth factor of 3. So stability number is given as 0.178 where depth factor is given as 3. So we know that stability number is given as C upon factor of safety times gamma h. Now this beta angle is given and this depth factor is given. So what is to be done with this? So you should know that when we talk about stability number, so it is given in a chart. So there are charts based upon certain condition, that is these chart are prepared based upon slope angle and the angle of internal friction, that is phi, and the type of failure, that is whether the failure is base failure or toe failure. So for both of them separate charts are there. So when we have been given the stability number, it means that this stability number considers the depth factor and it considers the slope angle also. So we need not worry about that, we can simply use this formula. So here stability number is given as 0.178, C is 25, and factor of safety we have to find, gamma is 16 and height depth of cut is 7. So from here factor of safety comes out to be 1.25. That is the answer. So when stability number, something is about stability number has been asked in the question, so you should see that what all data you need not think of, because here stability number will be corresponding to a depth factor and corresponding to a slope angle, so that you can skip, you can simply use this formula if stability number is given. Let's see the next question. So the next question is the critical slip circle for a slope is given below along with the soil properties. So what are the soil properties? Cohesion is given, angle of internal friction is 0, it means it is a cohesive soil and frictionless. Unit weight is given. So for the cohesive soil, when we did the analysis, we simply find out the moments. So moment of this area, that will give us the disturbing moment, because this weight is the force that is trying to destabilize the slope, whereas the cohesive force will try to stabilize this. So what else is given to find that? The length of the arc of the slip circle is 15.6 meter. So this arc length is given as 15.6 meter. The area of soil within the slip circles, that is area, is given as 82 meter square. Radius of slip circle is 10.3 meter. This radius is given. Factor of safety against slip circle failure. Here we have to find out the factor of safety. So we saw this factor of safety is given as resisting moment divided by disturbing moment. So how did we find this resisting moment? Resisting moment is provided due to cohesion of the soil. So we saw this formula Cu r theta into r. This was the force, this was the moment arm. But here theta is not given. So but what was this thing? R theta is the length of arc and r is the radius. So we have been given this length of arc and we have been given radius and we have been given this cohesion. So we can simply find the resisting moment. So Cu is given as 30 kPa, that is 30 kilonewton per meter square, into length of arc is given as 15.6 meter, into this radius is given as 10.3 meter. 10.3 meter. So this is having a unit of kilonewton, but moment should have a unit of kilonewton meter. So we find it for the unit width. So from that it is kilonewton meter. So 30 into 15.6 into 10.3. That is our resisting moment. Now what is the disturbing moment? Disturbing moment is caused due to the weight. So now what will be the weight? So for finding out the weight, this area of this mass is given. So area times unit width, that will give us the volume, and volume into unit weight of the soil, it will give us the weight times the lever arm. So in this case lever arm will be this distance, so it is given as 2.3 meter. So just put the values 82 into 1 into unit weight is given as 20 kilonewton per meter cube into this lever arm is given as 2.3 meter. So this is 82 into 20 into 2.3. This is the disturbing moment. Now factor of safety is equal to resisting moment divided by disturbing moment. Resisting moment is 30 into 15.6 into 10.3 divided by disturbing moment is 82 into 20 into 2.3. So from here if you calculate, the factor of safety comes out to be 1.28. So that is the answer. So instead of giving length of the arc, they could give you this angle theta, but for that case you remember this angle CUR, this formula CUR square theta upon WX. So it is not always safe to remember just the formula. You should know what does this represent. So CU R theta, so R theta here was the length of arc, and CU R theta gives us the force, and force into this moment arm, that is radius, so it will give us the moment. So you should remember that we take the ratio of moments in this case. Now the next question is, an infinite slope is to be constructed in a soil. The effective strength parameter of the soil are C dash is equal to 0 and phi dash is equal to 30 degree. The saturated unit weight of the slope is 20 kilonewton per meter cube, that is gamma saturated is equal to 20 kilonewton per meter cube, and the unit weight of water is 10 kilonewton per meter cube, that is gamma W is equal to 10 kilonewton per meter cube. Assuming that seepage is occurring parallel to the slope, so it will be, slope is there something like this and seepage is occurring. They are not giving anything about the height of this water table, so we will consider it with the, it is up to the maximum height of the slope. So what else is given? Assuming that seepage is occurring parallel to the slope, the maximum slope angle for a factor of safety of 1.5. So here this depth of the slope is not given. Factor of safety is given as 1.5, but you should remember that it is a cohesionless soil. In that case the factor of safety does not depend on depth. If seepage is up to the top, that is seepage is up to this level, so this factor of safety will not depend on the depth of the soil. So factor of safety, if you remember, it is given as gamma dash, that is gamma submerged divided by gamma saturated into tan phi upon tan beta. Now if you don't remember this, you can always equate the shear stress and shear strength. So shear stress used to be, because this weight acts downwards, as we considered this something like this, so weight acts downwards, so normal force is here and shear force is here. So if this angle is beta and this weight will be gamma into z, so the shear stress will be gamma z cos beta sin beta. This weight is gamma z cos beta into this factor will be gamma z cos beta sin beta, and you can equate it with the shear strength of the soil, that will be gamma z, or because seepage is up to the top, so gamma minus gamma w z cos beta into 1 cos beta will come due to this side, so cos square beta, and into this is the normal force into tan phi. So if you equate these two, from there also you can obtain this equation. So this I have covered in detail when I talked about the infinite slope. There you can check this. So here I am using this formula directly. So factor of safety we can find out as gamma dash, that is gamma submerged. Gamma submerged is gamma saturated minus gamma w, that is 20 minus 10. Gamma saturated is given as 20, tan phi is 30 degrees given, and tan beta we have to find, that is the slope angle. So from here tan beta is equal to tan upon 20 into tan 30 divided by factor of safety is 1.5. So if you calculate this, so from here beta comes out to be 10.89 degrees. This is the answer. Now if this seepage, if it had been occurring somewhere at this level, so for that case they will give you this total depth also as well as this depth of water table. So these both the things will be given for that case. The next question is, the soil profile above the rock surface at 25-degree infinite slope is shown, where SU is the undrained shear strength. So this is the undrained shear strength. The slip will occur at a depth of. So this is a stratified soil profile on infinite slope. So two type of soils are there, and undrained shear strength are given for both of them, and their unit weights are given, as well as the slope angle is given. So we need to find the depth of the slip. So if they are asking for the depth, it means that it must be a C5 soil, because if it had been a cohesionless soil, in that case the slip does not depend upon the depth. But we are not given any data about C and phi, so don't go into that. We'll just find out the shear stress. So shear stress, whether in case of a cohesive soil or a cohesionless soil, it is given as gamma z cos beta sin beta, or we can write it as gamma z upon 2 sin 2 beta. Now we can find out the shear stress at various level using this formula, and we can compare it with the shear strength of the soil, because shear strength are given for both the soils. So let's check the shear strength at the interface of the two soils, that is at the depth of 5 meter. So the shear strength or shear stress is equal to this gamma z upon 2 sin 2 beta. So gamma is 16 for the first soil, z is 5 meters upon 2 sin 50. So here shear stress comes out to be 30.64 kPa. Now this is the shear stress, and at this level shear strength is equal to 40 kPa. It means that shear strength is more than shear stress, so failure will not occur up to this depth. Now let's see at the base of this slope. So at the depth of 10 meters, what is the shear stress? At that level shear stress we can write it as, so this shear stress, this will remain the same up to this level, plus the shear stress in this part. So that is again using this formula gamma z by 2 sin 2 beta. So gamma here is 20, z again 5 meter, and 2 sin 50. Now this shear stress comes out to be 68.3 kPa, and here in this part, for this soil shear strength is how much? 60 kPa. The shear strength is equal to 60 kPa. So it means that in the soil 2 or the soil B, shear strength is less than shear stress. So failure will happen. So where will the failure happen? Failure will happen at a point where this, so shear stress is increasing with depth. So if we put depth more, so Z is increasing from the top. Is if this Z is increasing, so the shear stress is increasing. So at some point this shear strength will be equal to shear stress, and that too will happen in soil B, because in soil 1 we have seen, or the soil A we have seen, up to this depth of 5 meter the shear strength is more, that we saw, that is 40 kPa. So it will happen in soil B. So let's assume that from this level, at some point, at some depth Z, the shear stress is becoming equal to shear strength. Now let's write shear stress first. So shear stress in this part, for the first soil it is same, that is 30.64, that we found out using this formula, 16 into 5 by 2 sine 50. Now for the next part, that is gamma z by 2 sine 2 beta we have to write. So here gamma is how much? 20. Z we will keep it as z by 2 sine 2 beta, that is sine 50, and it is equal to 60 kPa. So from here Z comes out to be 3.83 meters. So that is the depth at which shear strength is becoming equal to shear stress. Now this depth we have considered from this soil interface. Now what has been asked in the question? The slip will occur at a depth of. So they are asking for this total depth. So it will be 5 this and 5 plus Z. So that is 5 plus 3.83 equal to 8.83. So this is the answer. So that's it for this one.